Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Traffic, and this movie is directed by Steven Soderbergh, and it stars Michael Douglas, Benicio del Toro, and Don Cheadle, and this movie was just on Netflix, and I noticed that it was directed by Steven Soderbergh, and I like him as a director. I've seen a couple of his movies, and the ones that I like are Logan Lucky, even though I haven't seen it in a while. I remember enjoying that movie. And I really like Side Effects. I think that's a really good movie as well. And he also directed Magic Mike, and I haven't seen that movie in a while, but I remember enjoying it. And this movie, there were a lot of things that I liked about it. I thought the performances were great. I thought Michael Douglas did a great job. And I enjoyed the story overall and where it went. And this movie's 2.5 hours, and it does so as much as it can to keep you entertained. And there's a lot going on in this movie. There's like 4 different storylines that you're following, and they're all connected and have a point to them. Well, some are more connected than others. One is kind of just in the background, and that's kind of Michael Douglas's perspective, and him just struggling with his daughter because his daughter's a drug addict, and he's just trying to deal with that. And there's a lot that goes on there, and the movie, it never really felt like it was beating you over the head to the point where it got annoying. It kind of does that, but it's trying to say, like, this is a problem, and there are a lot of things that it did that I found to be interesting. And overall, when it came to personal investment, I didn't feel connected to any of the characters. I didn't feel as though any of them were, like, poorly written or bad characters. I just felt as though like if any of them died, I don't think it would impact me that much. Because of that, it doesn't really make it like a super engaging movie like when it came to the characters. It's mostly just the story that you're supposed to enjoy. And I also kind of want to mention the look of the film. It kind of uses 3 different looks. There's a point where it is like blue. It's mostly with Michael Douglas and his daughter, and that whole storyline, it's mostly like has this blue look. And whenever it's taking place in like Mexico, I think everything looks really bright, and whenever it's neither of those two, it doesn't do that at all. It just looks like a normal film is like the best I could describe it. And for the first 30 minutes of the movie, it was a little bit annoying because I'm just like, would you stop changing it? Because the blue, I thought, looked disgusting. But as the movie went along, like past that first 30 minutes, I did kind of get used to it, and I understood the point that it was trying to make. And I understood that there was an actual point to it. And once I figured that out, then I stopped getting annoyed by it, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of going along with this. And there weren't really any moments where I was bored. I do think, despite this movie being 2.5 hours long, it wasn't really boring to me. There was always something to keep me interested in the film, and I liked where it went, and it really does explore as much as it can within that 2.5 hours. And I also don't really feel as though it portrayed anything poorly. Like when the kids were like getting high, like I never felt as though any of it was like fake and clearly written by someone who has no idea what a teenager is. Like that never happened for me personally. I thought it all was all handled well. And overall, it was just a solid movie that I would happily watch again. And if you haven't seen this movie, I would recommend it. And despite it being 2.5 hours, like for the first however long of the movie, like half hour, maybe longer, you are going to kind of feel the runtime, but, well, or at least that was my experience. But once we got close to the second act, like right before it, that's where it like really picked up, and like the rest of the movie just flew by for me, and I didn't notice the pacing at all. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Traffic a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of traffic, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for A Man Called Otto, so look forward to that. But until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.